Hey everybody, it's Chad with Nobody Else's Auto, 7:30 Sunday evening, time for some Sunday night live chat, more fun and shenanigans. Let's see who's here and ready to go. Lots of guys on here ready for tonight. Charles is here with us right out of the gate. Neil, Kevin L, JP's back. Matt is here. Brian Dispatch. Kevin Brown made it. Dad's here with us. Bill Wagaman, Buick Man. All here and ready to go for tonight's chat. Looks like we are connecting on Facebook as well. As always, we are live on two formats, both Facebook and YouTube. As you see me glancing back and forth between the comments, trying to keep up with things. The bulk of the crowd is on YouTube, but I do still try to keep an eye out because we do have some Facebook viewers who like to hang out over there, which is perfectly fine. Numero uno, number one, is here tonight. Bill Disk, Jim Petty. Great crew here and ready to go. Billy Bowman's here. Anyway, before we get too far into things, Sam made it. Nut Farm's here. Little bit of housekeeping. Please double check your comment. Make sure autocorrect didn't change it into something that I can't understand before you hit send. If I can't make out your comment, I will have to skip it. I try to catch most of them. I miss some, but I try to catch most of them. So Frank made it tonight. If you're on the Nobody Show Facebook page, I cannot see those comments. This is a shared video from the Nobody Else's Auto page. You'll need to be on the Nobody Else's Auto page or the Nobody Show YouTube channel if you would like to comment and participate in the chat. If you want to sort of watch, hang out there and watch with us, you're perfectly fine over there. But I cannot see those comments on the Nobody Show Facebook page. Martin Designs is back. Haven't seen Martin in a while. Glad you're here. Jeff from Ottawa. That's why I have to say that, Neil. Because sometimes I get every once in a while something really wonky will show up. That's why I always remind guys to double check it before you hit send. Because if it's something really wild, then I just can't do anything with it. So, and I don't want to spend a lot of time trying to figure it out. Perry from Connecticut. So please be aware of that. Trolls, we do occasionally get some trolls on here. You guys do a great job of taking care of them. We've got a few people lined out to help us, as well as change the commenting section of the video to subscribers only, where you've got to be a subscriber for 5 minutes before you can comment. So between those steps, we have definitely helped get the troll situation under control. However, we do still have to deal with ads. This is YouTube's baby. There's nothing we can do about it. They're going to run ads on us. It's their system. We just have to work around it. So I think you're right, Bill. I think autocorrect might be based in India. That might have something to do with it. Martin Design's birthday yesterday. Happy birthday. Robert on Facebook. Did you see the video on the 70 Kingswood? Robert, the full video on that on YouTube. Have you caught the video on that car? Yeah, that's right. Number one. That's about what it looks like half the time. And as always, super chats are great. We're going to talk about super chats here in a little bit because we have something cool that I want to talk about with super chats coming up. So Jason Bradshaw's back. Oh, wow, that's sweet. Paunch is going to be there at the Tulsa Starboard show. That'd be cool. Still love Chips. Chips is on some channel at like 7 o'clock in the morning. And if I don't get out of the house before 7, which sometimes I'm leaving like right at 7. So like if the truck's warming up, I find that channel just so I can watch the Chips intro because I love it. So that would be pretty cool to see Paunch. Dennis Chapman's here. So anyway, let's get moving into tonight's chat. Several things to discuss. We'll talk about the Nobody's page. We'll talk about new inventory. We'll do a promo model, badge, cap, story time. We'll talk about the new raffle. Lots of fun things to do tonight. We'll catch a little bit of magazine. We'll auction some stuff off, and we're going to add some stuff to your collection. So lots of stuff happening. Scott's here with us. Yeah, Scott, our weather was amazing today. I think we were close to 70 today. And sunny. It was beautiful today. Sean with us. I don't know if you're new or not. I don't remember seeing your name before, Sean, but if so, welcome. Welcome to all the maybe all the new viewers. I didn't know Eric Estrada ever went to jail. So welcome, Sean. Obviously, lots of auction stuff to talk about over the last couple weeks. Not much this week for us. Meekum did have an auction, the motorcycle auction this week. Pete made it. I did see a reel where they sold a motorcycle for $1.3 million, an old teens motorcycle. But didn't pay a lot of attention to the Vegas motorcycle auction. Not really my wheelhouse, but that's what, of course, everybody kind of probably needed a break from auctions after January. So, but just like Somebody mentioned it just a little bit ago. I think Nut Farm did. I think Randall mentioned the video on the late 19 teens Buick, 15, 16, 17, somewhere in that vicinity Buick. Dan's here with us. Yeah, it's supposed to be just as nice tomorrow. Then we're supposed to kind of go back to a little bit of normalcy, highs in the mid to upper 40s after that. But I mean, I'm going to take it every day like this we get in February is a win because it's one day closer to spring. Michael Brown made it by tonight. But anyway, yeah, Mike from New Waverly, Texas made it. Steve Reed's back. If you guys didn't catch the video on the digging that late teens Buick out of the trees, you'll definitely want to catch that. The video is done extraordinarily well. I mean, I've got a tiny little channel. Not all my videos go nuts, but since that video went public at 7:00 Friday night, it's had 65,000 views. So for me, that's amazing. So I'm excited about that. If you haven't caught that, be sure to check it out. It's fun doing that stuff. It's fun being able to document it, video it. And, like I said, that car has been parked for the way it looks 92 years. So Mike loved it. Nope, Steve, it is not running. But doing that stuff, it's really cool. It's there again, that thing has been on that farm forever, literally. Bill Disk liked it. Great. Kind of looks like the Beverly Hillbillies. Well, the Beverly Hillbillies truck was an Oldsmobile, so they were kind of related. Oh, that's right. And the Cord video, did you go buy that, Pete? Did you call Doug and just go buy that before the video gets out? Waycamp enjoyed it. Briggs made it back. So unless Pete goes and buys the Cord, there will be a really cool Cord video coming up next week as well. But glad you guys enjoyed digging the old Buick out of the trees. That was fun doing. And being able to document that stuff. Like I said, as we saw on the license plates, yeah, and I did shoot that in December. So that's why I said 92 years, even though we released the video in 2025. But, the family actually, and I asked them, have they been here that long? And the lady that I bought these vehicles from, it was her husband's family's farmstead. And over on the other side of the ground, I did go over there. There are some buildings there that Shell Oil had leased from the family for a small regional office. And this is out in the middle of nowhere. And they had this little regional office out there. And they leased that to Shell in 1935. So yes, this family was already on this ground in the 30s. So nearest as any of the family members that are still alive can remember, that car's never moved. So I literally think that was correct, or very correct, very close to correct. If it had been maybe it sat a few feet away or some other little spot on the farm, but it had been there for a super, super crazy long time. And I think the 92 years, when they parked, it's pretty close. Greg's here with us. Glad Greg stopped by. So, oh yeah, the mini Cord, the second generation Cord that Doug's dad actually built back in the 60s. That video was not near as popular as the Buick video, but I'm glad you guys did enjoy it. And actually there's kind of some weird things happened. If you I think Doug talked about him some of the very first videos we did with him years ago. But the Corvair engine, Steve Agebush made it. The Corvair engine that they used in the second generation 8/10 Cord. Basically, they wanted the Cord to be front wheel drive, just like the original. And obviously the Corvair was rear wheel drive with a rear mounted engine. Okay, well, flip flop that around a bit and we've got front wheel drive, right? Which is essentially what Glenn's dad did. After some quick measuring and looking like it would work and fit, that's what they went with. Now, one of the first prototypes that was a running, driving, functional car, 1963-ish, somewhere in that vicinity. I don't remember the exact year. But one of the very first running driving prototypes of those 8/10 cords that were designed and developed by Doug's dad, Glenn Prey, went missing. And they never really understood what happened. Kenny Peterson made it. It disappeared from a parking space. Now, these cars were, like I said, they were, just still in development, still trying to iron out the kinks. And the car disappeared. No idea what happened to it. Then, several weeks later, I don't remember if it was a couple weeks or 3 or 4 or 5 weeks, I don't remember. But I have to check with Doug again to get the actual details of the story. The car reappeared in the exact same place where it disappeared from, which obviously seemed kind of odd. And it didn't look like anything. It wasn't crashed. It wasn't scratched up. It wasn't beat up. It wasn't banged up. Didn't have headlights hanging down or taillights knocked off of it like it had been joyrided or torn up. Literally ended up right back in the exact same spot where it had been swiped from several weeks prior to that. Well, upon closer inspection, after they got the car back to the shop, started looking at it. Aliens, it's a good idea, JP. Cruise with us on Facebook. They realized that the entire front of the car, the way the engine, the transaxle, the CV shafts, the way all that was set up, had all been taken apart and then put right back together. So, kind of an interesting twist to the story of the development of that little 8/10 cord. But somebody was awful curious. And this was a couple years before the Oldsmobile Tornado debuted with front-wheel drive. Don from Nashville with us on Facebook. So, nobody can prove anything. Nobody's ever been able to prove anything after all these years. But it was awful odd that the car disappeared, reappeared in the exact same spot several weeks later, with no damage other than the fact they could tell that the front of the car, the engine, or the transaxle, the CV shafts had all been apart and put back together. So, interesting twist to the story of the little 8/10 cord, but that was a cool car too. If you haven't seen that video, be sure to check it out. And yeah, so we did it. I doubt it, not back in 63 or whatever. So, but there again, that's what's so cool about going down to Auburn, Cord-Duesenberg, seeing that cool stuff, checking stuff out, learning all this stuff. And that's exactly what they think, Dan. That's exactly what they think. So, anyway, but if anybody wants to buy a real cord, a real full-size original 37 cord, that video is coming up next week for the public viewers. Now, that video is already out for the memberships. The members have gotten that video. Unless Pete goes and buys it. Pete likes it. Pete may go buy it this week before the video pops up. I don't know. But that's a beautiful car. So we've got that coming up. So it's been busy, to say the least. So, but I'm glad you guys enjoyed the Buick video. It's super exciting for me, a little tiny channel like me, to see a video take off like that. Mary's here tonight. So what else has been going on? My week was pretty screwed up. So would like to see the Buick spark plugs. Okay. We'll have to see if we can do something with that. Jim, maybe we'll do a short on it or something. As far as shipments, anything that was paid for last week, like Sunday night or first thing, Monday morning got shipped. Anything that was paid for later in this week did not get shipped. It'll go this week. Bert's here with us. Bert's Adventures. NASCAR and NASCAR on and us. So, but the end of the week was kind of crazy. I had to run Dad to Kansas City for a checkup on his ankle. I did bring a gas pump home that I had bought, though, and worked a deal on a bunch of other parts. I bought another car yesterday. So we got some cool stuff coming up, but dealing with rental stuff this week. Had to evict the tenant, had court, had to get him out. So had a lot of rental stuff going on this week. The trip to Kansas City and back. So the stuff from the first part of the week got shipped. If it was later in the week, it did not, and it will go tomorrow or Tuesday. About 65,000 views on the Buick video, Brian. So there again, for me, for my little channel, I'm pretty excited about that. That's great for me. Let's see. Good point, Bill. Very good point, as a matter of fact. Boom, right there. In fact, we're a little bit behind, so let's give you a twofer. And speaking of badges, while we got them out, while we're talking about it, before we touch on the gathering and stuff, over the last few weeks, some of you guys have thrown some super chats up there, which is awesome. To me, I mean, it's great. It does help financially, but to me, it's so cool that you guys think that what we do here is worth throwing $5 or $10 at it. You know, to me, that's pretty cool. That just because you guys are enjoying what we're doing, you do that. And like I said, the last couple of weeks, we've had a few. We haven't had any in quite a while. But I thought, you know what? We need to do something cool for anybody that is willing to throw up a super chat for what we're doing. So I've got a new super cool badge for super chats that will only pop up whenever there's a super chat. So it's a cool badge. I'm excited about it. It's a statement badge, and it's a big time drink badge. So I'm excited about that. I was like, we got to do something for the guys that are willing to do that, because it means so much to me, and it's so cool that you guys think highly enough of what we're doing to do that. So that's in the wings. It's here. It's ready to go. The super chat badge for any super chats. And we probably won't get any more now. We had a couple in the last couple of weeks, so that's what got me thinking about it. What are you doing over there, Gray Kitty? Hey. Yes. So I'm excited about that. I hope you guys like it too. Just bear that in mind. If we get any other super chats, and it will continue. There goes the hearts. I do like the hearts. That we've got a new special drink badge for any super chats if they pop up again. Just that's what got me. We haven't had it in a long time. Having a couple of them, not far from good fight. That we'll start working that in as well. So, but for now, we're going to give you another Hudson badge to keep things rolling. Episode number 250 coming up. So I've been thinking about that. Joe wants to do a promo recap on the Chevy promos that we've been doing. So we will do that. We want to recap some of the stuff from the first year, which some of that sort of stuff that first several months wasn't even on YouTube. That was just some stuff I was doing on Facebook. I don't have a lot of notes from some of those. They weren't extremely long. We were jumping on for 15, 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. Basically just had one topic that we talked about. We did that for, I think, all of 20. If I remember correctly, that was pretty much all of 20. Yes, because in 21 is when these worksheets started. The worksheets, which I've revised this several times, but the January 2nd of 21 is when I started actually building a worksheet. So I've just got some pages from a yellow notepad, because like I said, we were talking about kind of one topic a night. There was a handful of guys on, and we were just chat about stuff. And then it kind of started developing and evolving into what we've got now. So we'll talk about some of that old stuff from the first year. Pete got us with a super chat. All right, guys, here we go. You guys ready? I told you there's a new super badge for super chats. So huge shout out to Pete. The new super chat badge. If it's a super chat, it should be supercharged, right? The new super chat badge is the supercharged side hood badge off the 1935-1936 Auburn boat tail speedster with a supercharger. The new big drink badge for anybody that throws up a super chat gets the supercharged badge. So this isn't original. This is off of a supercharged Auburn. Nut Farm! There goes the Nut Farm. So we got to do it again. The supercharged badge once again. I got this, of course, from our good friend Doug Prey. This was off of an original car. It was re-chromed. Now, these are actually, the letters are chromed, but when these are on a car, this background is painted to match the car. And this one, if you can see, there's a lot of fine pitting in those areas. So that's why this one was replaced. You know, these cars are $750,000. I love the Hippo Nut Farm. The Hippo is awesome. That plus the little emoji dude you had last time, Nut Farm, that guy was awesome too. So from now on, any super chat gets the supercharged drink badge. Bert's Adventures hit us with one also. Awesome, guys. I should have got the supercharged badge out a long time ago. That's awesome. Appreciate it to all you guys. Pete, Randall, Bert's Adventures, all of you. That is awesome. So from now on, whenever super chat pops up, boom, we'll get the supercharged badge out. So if you want to see how this sits on the side of the hood, look up 1935 or 1936 Auburn boat tail speedster with a supercharger. And you'll see these on the sides of the hood. This is a pretty good size badge, so as you guys can tell, it sticks out there a ways. It's 16.5 inches long. So I thought we would do something fun for some of you guys that throw those up there. So whenever anybody has the urge to throw one up, whenever it is, boom, that comes out. And that's what happens. How's that for a new badge? So huge shout out to Pete, Randall with the Nut Farm, and Bert's Adventures for kicking off the super chats and the new super chat badge. So glad you guys are thinking. Glad a lot of great comments about it. That you guys are digging it. It's a cool piece. So, but anyway, back to the first year. Mike Hammonds remembers that those were still pretty fun back then. There goes the hearts. That's great. I love your guys' support and loyalty in what we do here. I super appreciate it. So we'll touch on some of that. We'll still do some auction stuff and some of that type of stuff. We'll still talk about the raffle, but you know, we're going to have that one went down wrong. About 20 promo models to do, plus the recap on you know, from the first year. And I don't have everything from the first year. I've got about half of it. I'm sure there was a piece of yellow notepad paper that got lost over the years. So Brett's here with us. So that's kind of what we're working with. We'll see what happens. But so far, if you guys have some other ideas of what you want to do for the 250th episode, which will be in 2 weeks. Wow. So we're looking at the 16th. So here in a couple weeks, holy cow, will be episode number 250. Crazy to think. Membership group still ticking along. I know several of you guys have expressed interest in the training group, but have not heard any confirmation from any of you guys. So, you know, if we're going to do this, you know, we need to get, I'd really like to get it going. I've got it set up. I've got my notes ready. So get with me if you're interested in that. Other than that, I sure appreciate all you guys that have joined the membership groups. And I hope you guys are enjoying getting the videos early. So, hey, that's great, Mike. I'm just glad you're here. So, yep, you comment whenever you feel like it. Pete says we should check with Heather and see if she wants to come on. Probably not going to happen. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed, but probably not going to happen. And one other thing we'll touch on before we kind of start walking into new inward. David W. Uh-oh, here we go. We got a roll going. David W. Boom. Supercharged super chat. It's a supercharged super chat. Thanks, David W. Appreciate that. I don't know what that little dude is, but he looks like a green grimace. So, supercharged super chat. Thanks, David W. The Gathering. Pete did send an email out last sometime. Or no, he posted it on the Nobody's page that we are basically at the halfway point on The Gathering. Speaking of The Gathering, had me a Wilbur last night, and it was tasty. I got to eat Wilbur last night, and it was good, good, good. So I know you guys are excited about getting your Flatlanders pizza. You can check those guys out on Facebook. Flatlander Stonefired Pizza. Our good friend Josh is going to be hooking us up this year again at the brewery both nights, Friday and Saturday. You think that might be a little bit too much pizza when it comes to Flatlanders Pizza? It is not too much pizza. Thanks, Pete, for throwing that up. If you are interested in being part of the second annual Gathering of the Nobodies, please email Pete at badboyschevrolet@gmail.com and get that information from him. Once we get your $20 to reserve your spot, which includes lunch on Saturday, we will get you locked in so you have your slot. We are about half full for what we're going to take, just to kind of keep it manageable. So I appreciate that. We will do some live stuff from there, Bill, for sure, as well as hopefully Ryan and I get this figured out. Ryan says we can do automotive trivia, and he thinks he can open it up for you guys who can't make it Saturday night from the brewery, where you guys will be able to participate in the automotive trivia game with some prizes that probably some Nobodies and some Dry Lake stuff prizes for that night. So can't wait for that. Charles, are you still on with us? I seen you commented earlier. Are you still with us, Charles, about the Gathering? But it's going to be a great time, guys. April 26th. So there again, Jeff, I'm with you. Okay, Charles, you want to plan on coming out? We talked about that a little bit last night. Just want to make sure that's cool with you before we tell everybody officially. So you can tell them if you want. Sounds good. So Charles is planning on bringing his new coffee trailer out to the yard on Saturday morning. Coffee, energy drinks, lemonades. So excited to have Charles bring the trailer out. Avashji Java, which I'm sure I butchered that. Be sure to check out what Charles has going on, and he's going to try to bring the trailer out that morning. My buddy Mark, I talked to him the other night, still planning on doing, I didn't know if he would do brisket or pulled pork this year for us, but regardless, I don't think we're going to be in too bad a shape when it comes to some big old tub of smoked meat for lunch. So that's all coming together. It's going to be a great time. I know Bill Disk has his flight booked. I know a few of you other guys were checking on flights. Bill is coming into Hayes. What worked out best for him. Hayes, Salina both have regional airports. Wichita Mid-Continent is the closest big airport, which is about 100 miles away. And I don't know. Totally VW made it. So, yeah, been a lot of comments about NASCAR being on at the same time tonight. So not just you. But, so maybe some of you guys can coordinate if you're flying in. And that's a good point, Bill. We've talked about hotels, and nobody's really expressed much interest in trying to get a group rate or a block or something. If you guys have changed your mind, like I said, we've thrown this out there a few times before, and I heard from nobody on doing that. So if don't mean to confuse you that much, Brett. And if the hotel thing, Gray Kitty, quit tearing stuff up. If we do want to go ahead and revisit the hotel deal, let Pete know. Sounds great, Kenny. That'd be awesome. And we can try to put something together for a block. It's just I heard no comment from anybody, or had no contact from anybody, or neither did Pete, about getting a hotel group or block put together. We did one last year, and 3 or 4 people used the block, and everybody else got other rooms other places. So you just you guys tell me. It's totally up to you. I know, Brett. I know if cars are going around in a circle and turning left, they pretty much got you hooked. So I don't blame you. I understand, buddy. Hayes is the closest city with a regional airport. Hayes has a regional service, which is about 50 miles. Salina has regional service, which is about 70 miles. Our good friend Glenn is in Salina. He said he would try to help out if somebody needed picked up in Salina. The closest large airport is is Wichita, which is about 100 miles. So those are kind of the options as far as flying: Hays, Salina, or Wichita. That's where we stayed last time, Brian. That's where we set up a block last year, but only a handful of people used it. Most people got their own rooms. So there again, I will do whatever you guys ask. I just haven't had any response to trying to get a group rate or a block put together. So Glenn offering use of his excursion if a group does come into Salina. So we'll see how all that comes together, but it's looking like it's going to be great. Pete's working hard, keeping things organized on his end. Rico and Jess agreed to come out early and help clean and get things ready. And Bill said he's going to be here Thursday night. So we've got a few people to help set up Friday, which I need. Throw somethings here because I just flat ran out of time last year. So we'll see. Hopefully I'll be a little better. Things will be planned a little bit better than we did last year. But we'll see how things come together. But it is clicking. I'm excited about it. Austin made it. And once again, I'm super excited that you guys are willing to come out again and once again make this what it was last year and probably even better this year. So anyway, kind of working into some new inventory. Obviously, it's still pretty wet. The weather is definitely getting better, but still pretty wet. Did not pick up any cars, but I did pick up that gas pump and a few totes of parts on that deal. And also ended up with some other stuff this week that was kind of different, and I'm kind of excited about. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but there was an auction in Wellington, Kansas last weekend. I didn't go to it, but a friend of mine that I work back and forth with did. Actually, the guy that you guys remember the story about the signs where this dude that I deal with quite a bit texted me and said, I got signs, and then went crickets on me. And I'm blowing up his phone texting him because you can't tell me that you got signs and then ghost me. You got anybody remember that story? That'll be here, Bert. If you want to see that Buick, it'll be here. So unless somebody comes and buys it in the next couple months, but it should be here. So yeah, that's another comment, guys. The air tragedy this week, that was terrible. That was crazy about what happened there. But anyway, this buddy of mine that it was quite because I got a really cool KT oil sign from him, but he literally 6:30 one night I get a text and it says, I got signs. And then that's it. And I knew he had been out buying that day and I knew he was on the way back. So I was like, well, let me know when you get back. Okay. I'm trying to stay cool. Stay cool. Crickets. 30 minutes later, are you back yet? Crickets. 10 minutes later, are you back yet? Crickets. So finally, I'm just texting dude. It's like, you can't do that. You can't send me a text that says, I got signs, and then go crickets on me. He thought it was hilarious. Me, not so much. But I did get some great signs. Well, he went to this auction in Wellington. This place actually, they had some car stuff there, primarily Model A and Model T stuff. But this guy actually had sold reproduction cord and Auburn parts for years. Actually, from kind of what I heard, if this is all totally true, he used to work for Doug's dad and then kind of bailed on Doug's dad, went into business for himself doing the same thing. So, but they did have an auction there, and my buddy went, so I had him kind of watch for things for me. He said there really wasn't much there for any quarter Auburn parts. He said most of the parts there he recognized. He said there were a few things that were kind of weird. There were a few things he was pretty sure were quarter Auburn, but the bulk of it was Model A and Model T stuff because he said, I recognize that stuff. But they did have a stack of cord porcelain signs that were made back in the 70s or 80s. They're not originals by any means, but they are porcelain cord signs. I did have him pick up a couple of those, one for me, one for Dad. And he said, I got a few other things too. Well, I pull up out there at his place this week, and there's 3 trunk lids laying there for a bustle back cord. I was like, were those there? He's like, yeah, I bought those too. You want them? I was like, yeah, I'll take them. So if you're not sure what a bustle back cord is, if you didn't catch, the video that went out to members on Friday that will be out next Friday, that is a bustle back cord. So 3 trunk lids for bustle back cords laying there. Okay. So I bought those, picked up the signs for Dad and I that he bought for us. And he goes, I got a couple other things I think you think are cool. He had this big metal binder, like it's flat, about yay big. So I flipped it open. Yeah, 3 bustle back trunk lids. And you got to remember, when you say 3 of something for a cord, you've got to remember in 1936 and 1937, they only made 2,900 and some cords. The coffin nose cord, the 810, the 812, just under 3,000 cars were built. So to walk up and find 3 bustle back trunk lids in a pile was kind of odd. Sound good, Bert? I understand you. That is early to get up. So that, what the heck? But there was this big metal binder, and I flipped it open, and literally it had a metal front and metal back. It was, I don't know if it's a full parts list, but it's 30, 40, 50 pages of part numbers and descriptions for 1931 Auburns. So we'll be squeezing that into a Toy Tuesday. Then the other thing that I haven't gotten into yet, but it is super cool and I'm super excited about it. And I've got a couple pictures on my phone I might be able to show you. There's this box of slides. He said, I got this with some other stuff. I didn't even realize I got it till afterwards. They opened it up. There's this box of slides, probably 50, 60, 70 slides. I mean, the old slides, like little cardboard frame with a little picture in it. You put it in a projector and it shoots it up on there. So he goes, these are super cool. You've got to check them out. So I looked at a few of them and he was right. Let me see if I can. Here we go. Here's one of them. Okay. I've got like 50 or 60 of these. I got to find a slide projector and I'm probably going to try to do a video on them. But as you can see, it is like a regular slide. But check this thing out. Check out the picture. This one I obviously held up to the light so we could see it, and then I could get a screenshot of it. There goes the hearts. So there was that one. I had one other one. Oh, this is a great one too. This is kind of tougher to see, but these are period pictures, I'm almost positive. Check out this boat tail speedster. So like I said, these are just literally on slides. And I've got a box of like 50 or 60 of them. From the few that I've looked at, they do appear to be period correct pictures, not stuff that was taken at a car show in 1987. These appear to be period pictures from the 30s of these. So far, the half dozen I've looked at are all Auburns. But you never know. There might be a cord in there. There might be a Duesenberg in there where these old factory photos, were these old ad copy. No idea. But don't know if we're going to learn any more as we dig deeper into this box of slides. Don't know if we're going to see anything at all. Who knows? So possibly, Pete. I don't know. I've never tried that. Might be an idea. I don't know. But regardless, it looks like some really cool stuff. So can't wait to get into those. So Kyle's here with us. Kind of excited about that just to see what's in there because I don't have any clue. But it's going to be interesting. So anyway, that's some super cool stuff that I'm super excited about that we're going to have some fun with here in the very near future. How about a Hudson badge? There might be, JP. I've wondered about that. I don't know. Mike, he thinks 35 was the first year for Kodak slide film, and it could be. Same comment with Nut Farm. I really don't know. I don't know if these were factory photos that were converted to slides. Don't have any clue. But they definitely look like period photos. That's all I know. Maybe they had negatives and they made the slides from those. Like I said, we may go through these and know even less about them, or we may be able to figure something out. Don't have any clue because I've only looked at a half dozen of them. And like I said, there's probably 50 of them in the box. But I know the ones I looked at were just knockout amazing. So when you hold up a slide, you're looking at a picture of a boat tail speedster from the 30s that looks like it was shot in the 30s. Pretty good chance there's going to be some cool stuff in there. So I'm definitely excited about that. So anyway, we probably better keep moving tonight. We got a lot of stuff to cover. Promo model, badge, hubcap, story time, the raffle, some auction stuff, a magazine. But obviously, we got a lot of fun stuff coming up in the very near future. I think you guys are going to like it. I know I was excited about it. Super appreciate this guy helping me out. But like I said, him and I work together back and forth on quite a bit of stuff. He does a lot of furniture, jewelry, that type of stuff, household type stuff, a lot of decorator type stuff, which I know absolutely nothing about, which works out great because when I find stuff that is up his alley, I get it for him. He does the same thing for me on car stuff. You know, we do the same thing. So we're finding stuff that each other is interested in, and we can just pass it on however we need to. It works out great. So watch on a magic lantern. But I'm obviously excited about it. I think you guys are going to be as well. Promo model tonight, another Chevrolet from the Chevrolet promo collection that Dad and I got into a few months back. Auburn badge. As most of you are aware of, Dad and I went to an auction in September where they sold 84 Chevrolet promo models. These people that own the Chevrolet dealer in a small north central Kansas town for several decades, each year, whenever they found a promo model they liked, they took it home and put it on their shelf at home, and it never left their living room until the auction here a few months ago. Yeah, I was wondering something about that, Sam. I'm going to look through them. And that's another thing. I wanted to go through them and kind of get a better idea what was there. I don't want to send them all in and then find out that the 5 I looked at were the only cool ones in there. But yeah, I was thinking about doing something like that, Sam. So I'll figure something out. We'll try to do a video on them as I go through them and check them out. So Danny the Dork Hamster saw a shadow today. I hope our forecast here stays what it's looking like for the next several days. So we got some killer Chevrolet promos, and we've got a very wide selection of them. We've showed you a few Monzas because you always end up with a few things like that. But we've got Monte Carlos, pickups, Corvettes, old Corvettes, Impalas, Caprices, a lot of cool stuff in these Chevy promos. And I think you guys are really going to like tonight's car. Great looking piece, very unique, very, very popular body style. On the 1960 Chevrolet Impala 4-door hardtop flat top promo. Now, there again, this one does have a little bit of warp to them, but the warp in these cars is not near as bad as most of them are because these were so well preserved. As you can see, it's got the flat top roof design. These were available in more of a bubbled up type top, as well as this flat top roof. These flat roofs are extremely popular, even for 4-doors. There go the hearts again. Awesome. It's got this overhang off the back window. Nice, clean, flat roof line. These cars have gotten more and more and more and more and more popular all the time. Yeah, it is, Sam. All these things look brand new. Every one that we got, 49 of the 84 we bought 49 of the 84 and they all look brand new. It's not chipped up. The nose is all in it. The bumper corners aren't broke. All the lights are there. Yes, these are GM pieces. These promo models are. Nut Farm has transferred slides and movies and DVR tapes to digital. So, yeah, there is definitely something we can do with them if we find out they're cool enough to do something with. Brett's back. We can see on the trunk lid, I don't know if you guys can see it or not, we do have the V and the rally flags designating this as a 348 powered car. It also had it in the grill, which is a little tougher to see because of the size of it. But the oval in this grill on the 1960, if it had the rally flags and the V was 348 powered, if it had the regular Chevrolet bow tie emblem and a V, then it was 283 powered. Or if it just had the Chevrolet bow tie, then it was an inline 6 powered car. All white with a black insert across the back, white interior. The iconic 5960 era Chevy dash that is so popular. All original hubcaps and tires all the way around. And as always on the bottom of these, not a lot of detail, one piece of cast or molded plastic. We do see very clearly the X-frame design used in this era of GM car. No outside perimeter protection in these, strictly a full X in this era of GM full-size car. So anyway, and look at this on the sides of this. Look how these bumper tips wrap around on this 60, and they're not even broken off. JP, this is maybe the best one yet. It's a pretty good one. But we've got some great stuff coming up too, guys. So there we have it for tonight's promo model, the 1960 Chevrolet Impala 4-door hardtop, flat top, powered by, in theory, would have been powered by a 348. Glad you guys enjoyed. A lot of great comments about that one. Hudson badge. Let's get to another badge and a cap. Check out a couple of cool pieces tonight. The badge tonight, Newell stock. You can never go wrong with Newell stock. And we've got something kind of different for a cap coming up here shortly. So let's start off with tonight's badge. This for our bow tie fans. Going back 85 years to the year 1940. A Newell stock, 85-year-old Newell stock front hood badge for a 1940 Chevrolet car. This is a smaller badge set right on the peak of the hood for a 40, which had kind of a wing thing on each side of it. But the badge was independent. It just had some trim off the sides of it. More hearts. There goes the hearts again. Like I said, this is not a big badge. It's about 3 7/8 tall, so just under 4 inches tall. This is all original chrome, original paint. It has not been repainted. It has not been touched up that I can tell. Chrome obviously looks amazing. And it is just 1 3/8 wide. 1 3/8 wide, just under 4 inches tall. And I don't think 20 is going to do this one, Brett. I actually thought this was a reproduction at first when I bought it. I bought this with a huge batch of enamel badges, but I can't find anywhere where they reproduced these at. And when I looked at the back, it actually does still have a part number on the back of it right here, cast into it. Obviously, you see the back super clean, just as nice as the front. You can see the chrome around the edges and the perimeter. It's a great piece. So it was kind of excited when I realized it actually was a Newell stock part, not a reproduction, and in absolutely amazing condition. So some great comments about that one, and it's a beauty. It's a great looking piece. It's definitely gonna be the the icing on the top of the cake on somebody's 40 Chevy, that's for sure. You're just getting started, huh, Brett? So let's catch a cap. Something a little bit different on caps tonight. It's a center cap for kind of a funky little car that I'm sure a lot of you remember, but you don't see a lot of them anymore. This center cap is for, when were these? Early 70s, maybe late 60s. I think these were used on the GT. On the Opel GT center cap. Check this thing out. Who remembers these? I found this loose. I didn't take it off a car, but I think this is what the Opel GTs used. Just going from memory. These are a chrome-plated cap. Has the Opel symbol in the middle of it. Don't let Iowa Classic cars see it. Nut Farms agreeing. Chrome-plated. The Opel Center was a badge in the middle of it. It was actually riveted on. If we look in the back, we can see two small rivets that actually held that little Opel symbol on there. Chrome plating looks nice. It's not all beat up. Just kind of a cute little cap for our Opel fans. Now, obviously, this being an Opel, it was a small car, so this isn't a huge cap, and it is just a center cap. So it is just under 7 inches in diameter. So these wheels, I believe they were a painted steel wheel, kind of a sport type painted wheel with this chrome center cap with the Opel lightning bolt and circle going through the middle of it. So definitely something a little bit different tonight on caps. The Opel GT wheel center cap. Who knew, right? The Opel center in the middle is about 2 inches. So there again, there goes the hearts. Love the hearts. Excuse me. So there we have it. The 1940 Chevrolet front hood badge and the Opel GT wheel center cap for tonight for badges and emblems. I saw a lot of hearts. I'm taking that as a win that you guys enjoyed them. Every time we do that, every week, we try to come up with some different cool stuff, kind of mix it up a little bit, and try some different things. It always evokes memories, and we get a lot of great feedback on the doing that different stuff every week, so we're having fun with it, and I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. JP remembers them. How about a Hudson badge? Definitely a win tonight. Appreciate that, Kevin. And let's move on to story time. Seems like one of the most favorite segments we've ever tried. Story time. We're going to go back in time with a time machine and travel back in history and check out a car that Dad did back in the 70s, early 80s. We do one every week. You guys are having a ton of fun with it. I'm having a lot of fun with it. Dad's having fun with it. This particular car I do not remember, but we're going to talk about it anyway. And we've got pictures of it. Tonight on Story Time, Dad bought this car July 27th of 1976. So almost 49 years ago. July 27th, 1976. I would have been a year and a half old. So I guess I got a reason for not remembering it. I was only a year and a half, right? What did Dad buy July 27th of 1976? It was the 1968 Rambler Rebel SST in blue. I know this glare is terrible, guys. I'm trying to get it best I can so you guys can see it. I don't want to take the pictures out of the book because this thing they fall apart when I do. They don't stick anymore. But this blue 1968 Rambler Rebel SST, I think it was a Rebel SST, is tonight's topic for story time. More hearts. There goes the hearts. So let's learn a little bit more about this 1968 Rambler. July 27th, 1976, 1968 Rambler two-door. He bought this from Elliott Pontiac, which actually is where they bid that Trans Am I've got, but they did not get to order it. This was the local Pontiac dealership in the 70s. I was a little rebel, yeah. Price of the car. Now remember, this is an 8-year-old car. So to put that into perspective, in 2025, this would be like buying a 2017 model car today. Okay. Purchase price, $50. Sales tax was $1.50. Zach, whiskey business here tonight. That said, it was a back row special. Bought it for $50. So, an 8-year-old car for $50 probably needed some work. So, we've got a ticket from 281 Auto Salvage, which is the yard that's just up the road from me, and he's still there, from August 31st of 1976. Transmission, $50. 4 hubcaps, $8. 2 chrome moldings, $2. 1 dome light, $2. 1 tail light, $4. For a grand total of $66. Balin Wire says he'll take one. And I think Dad said the first transmission he got was bad, so he actually had to swap trannies on this one twice. Used tire, $5. Rocker arm kit, $2.22. I don't know what that consisted of, but it was also all it was listed as rocker arm kit, $2.22. Trunk mat, $5.50. 1 gallon of thinner, $3.44. Walker parts, Raybestos parts, so probably did some exhaust and brake, 3M. We'll go through the whole list of the breakdown of what all this stuff was used for here shortly. Moog, probably did some suspension work. Raybestos, more brakes. Lots of tickets on this 68 Rambler. 1 quart of Ditzler, $3.76 for a quart of paint. 1 gasket, 93 cents. No, don't say what gasket it was. And as always, the newspaper ads. So let's find out what all Dad actually did to this car. Let's see. Now remember, he bought it off the back row for $50. Wiper blades, R&R transmission, transmission fluid and oil, replace 4 hubcaps, replace dome light and wiring, R&R tail light assembly, paint the entire car, mount 4 tires, repair exhaust, lube oil and filter, front brake shoes and cylinders, rear brake shoes. So we had to do some hydraulics on the front. Replace idler arm, replace pitman arm. So we had some suspension part. Here goes with our gaskets and our valve stuff. Repair tappet noise. But it doesn't say what was making noise. It just says repair tappet noise. But there again, we had some gaskets and some top end stuff there too. Yeah, he did paint cars in that garage, Brian. In that single car garage, he did paint there too. He did engine swaps, transmission swaps, body work, painted, all of it in that single car garage that is literally just on this exact street where we're at right now, just on the other end of town. Replace battery and cables, install vinyl top, install seat handles, air filter, repair lights, align steering wheel after the front suspension, after putting a pitman arm on it. Lube speedometer cable, something that was very common back in the day that we don't even think about anymore. Repair trunk leak, probably why I had to buy a new trunk mat for it. Probably had a bad weather strip or something, ruined the trunk mat. Adjust doors, cleaned it up, and safety inspection. So that all happened between July 27th of 1976 and October 22nd is when they put the ad in the paper, 1976. For sale, 1968 Rambler Rebel SST two-door hardtop, safety inspected. Cost of the ad for 10 words, 3 times, $2.60. Put in the ad in the paper, October 22nd, 1976, 6 days after my second birthday. Sold the car a couple weeks later on November the 8th for a total of $750. So after Mom got this all written down and figured out, and for you guys that haven't been here, I'll show you this real quick. Mom actually kept these sheets, these worksheets on these cars. The first few don't have it, but we've got these. This is where I'm reading all the repair work. And there again, you got to remember, we're in 1976. And after a couple months worth of work of evenings and weekends, he obviously had some hours in this car. There's no doubt about it. But sold it for $750 and made $334.89. And the labor rate he was figuring was basically like an internal rate at the shop, which was $7.50 an hour. So when you figure that in and you figure in what you're making, if that's what the shop rate was $7.50, I don't know what Dad was making on the line or what Tex made back then, but $4 or $5 an hour maybe. So to do a car on some evenings and weekends and make almost $350 was a pretty big swing. So anyway, there you have the quote-unquote rest of the story on the 1968 Rambler Rebel SST two-door hardtop that Dad did in 1976. Now, a lot of these cars that we've looked at basically sound like you're fixing up a whole car, restoring a car in some instances. Painted it, vinyl top, didn't do any interior work, but engine work, transmission work, painted it, vinyl top, some wiring, some lights, tires. Halfway restored the car based on today's standards in a couple of months worth of evenings and weekends. But there you have it. The rest of the story on the blue 1968 Rambler Rebel SST from 1976. The other thing to think about is all that work was needed on an 8-year-old car at that point. Think of a 2017 model in that situation today in 2025. So we've had great response to that segment. I'm glad you guys are having fun with it. I'm enjoying it. And glad you guys are having fun with it as well. All right, let me get to a few of these comments that we missed. That's right, you can't pay a fender for that in today's world. $225 an hour for labor rate in Texas at Tulsa, Lexus. Let's see here. Most of these were one at a time, Bale and Wire. For one, they didn't have room. The house we lived in was a corner lot, and the house faced south on this street, and then the corner was here, and the garage was back here on the other street, and it was just a single car garage. There was nowhere else to put any other cars, so he basically had to do them one at a time. If he had two of them, one of them was sitting in the street while he was trying to work on the other one. So now these were pretty much one at a time. Oh yeah, those are awesome, Briggs. Those red, white, and blue Rebels, those things were super cool. Let's see. Okay, Pete, explain to where Dad got his skills. Actually, he worked on cars forever. started as a teenager, just fixing stuff up. I think he bought a 57 Ford and fixed it up, and their neighbor wanted to buy it. This was like when he was 14 or 15. And I think he did another 57 Ford, worked his way up to a 57 Chevy when he was 16 or 17. 210 four-door sedan. Bought a wrecked Bel Air, put the Bel Air trim, the wide Bel Air panel on the back of it. And just kind of started from there. His ambulance, he actually worked on that ambulance when he was at Barton County here at the local community college, Barton County Community College, which actually opened the year he graduated high school. So him and some of his friends actually went straight out there to their auto mechanics program. And he went 2 years through their associate's degree program for automotive technology at the local junior college. After that, he was already working. They would actually put kids at the junior college into local dealerships as part of their apprenticeship program. And he actually went to the Pontiac dealer, which at that time was called Kotwitz Motor Company, straight out of Barton County, and started working there. Then he went to what was Dove's, the Buick's Cadillac dealership, in the early 72 or 73, and was on the line as a technician there up until 79 or 80. And then he took over service manager of Dove's throughout the 80s when I was a kid growing up. And he was there till about 1990. So always been into him, learned a lot of it. He worked at a gas station in high school. He worked at a Deep Rock station. The guy that ran the station was a car guy. And so just kind of always grew up around it, always liked it, learned a lot of it on his own, and then went through the Barton County program and started turning wrenches after that. His ambulance, his 51 Pontiac ambulance, he actually bought that car right around, I don't know if he bought it his senior year of high school or right after that. He rebuilt the motor in that car, put a transmission in it, fixed that car up in the early 70s, did all that on his own. He actually rebuilt the engine. That was right after him and Mom got married because they were renting that little tiny house. Tractor Mike made it tonight. He said he had like a little 8x10 workshop, and he put that big straight 8 in there and overhauled that big straight 8 in a little like 8x10 workshop for his ambulance. So, and we ought to get into that car one of these days because that car's a heck of a story. And the fact that he's got that car back and had it completely built is that deal is a whole show in and of itself. The place where Dad kept his cars was in a little town called Galatia, which is 23 miles northwest of here. The reason he started keeping cars out there was there was a building out there. Well, actually, my grandma, her mom lived in this little town. That's where they were from, was up in this area. And in 1978, there was a building there that they were selling at an auction that had been a Phillips 66 station as well as the Chrysler Plymouth dealer for this little tiny town, which is absurd to think of today. But back then in the 30s and 40s, a lot of these tiny towns even had dealerships. In fact, there is still to this day, the 1941 Plymouth showroom poster that was hanging in that building is still hanging in that building in the same spot from where it was hung in 1941. That building was coming up for sale at an auction. My dad and his dad, my grandpa, were starting to get a few old cars. They needed a place to put them. So they bought that building at the auction to put some of their old cars in. Then he started buying other land up there to store the parts cars, and that's how it blossomed from there. So, in a nutshell, that's the nickel tour of how that all came about. And all those could be complete segments in and of themselves. So, we got to get into the ambulance, though. This is one of the earliest books, and the ambulance is in here. And the ambulance is done. You guys who were here at the gathering last year saw the ambulance, and we need to get that out and do some cool stuff with it too. But that's an hour-long story in and of itself. So don't have time to get into that tonight because we need to keep moving because we need to talk about the raffle. We need to add some stuff to your guys' collection with some auctions. And we'll see if we even have time for a magazine tonight, the way things are going. But we're moving right along and we're having a lot of fun, and that's all that matters, right, guys? So let's keep boogieing. Let's talk about the raffle. You guys, we talked about it last week, based on participation slowly slipping on raffles. You guys said we still love it. We still want to keep doing it. Pete brought up a great suggestion that was completely right. Not throwing that's going in the trash can, not going in the auction pile. Hello, Great Kitty. Yes, would you like to say hi tonight? You do want to say hi, or you don't want to say hi? Okay, now you're walking back off. So, and Pete was 100% right. What we used to do on raffles is we would pick a prize for the raffle. Then, as more and more people got in, if we had solid entries that month, we would throw another piece in. If we had really good entries that month, we'd throw another piece in and maybe draw 3 names. If it was a slow month, we just gave away the main prize. So that's where I think that's what we'll go back to, and until we see how things go. Things start picking back up, we may just automatically start with 2. But for now, Addie wants to see Great Kitty. Come here, Great Kitty. Addie wants to see you. So we're going to have a prize that we'll announce tonight. We're going to get Great Kitty real quick. Come here. Yes, would you like to say hi? Come here. Okay, you're fine. You're fine. Everybody wants to see you. Yes, there. Everyone wants to see Great Kitty. See? Zach even said everybody wants to see you. Yes, you're purring. You're not too freaked out. Yes, there you go. Say, can you say hi to everybody, Great Kitty? Now you're being shy. Meow. See, everybody's saying hi to you. Yes, we just have to hold on to you so you can go dancing on the keyboard again. Yes, so you don't wreck the chat. Because you're a great kitty. Yes, you're a great kitty. Great kitty. Hello, Great Kitty. No, we have not talked about cat backstories. Okay, there you go. What do you think, Great Kitty? Matt's dog says hi. Yes. What? You're a great kitty cat. You're a great kitty cat. Yes, you are. Okay. We need to can we get on with our chat here? Do you mind? Hey, do you mind if we get on with our business here? Hey. Hey, ding dong. Ding dong. We got to get back to work here, okay? Yes, we got to get back to work. Is that okay with you? No, you don't care. All right. So anyway, we're going to go ahead. Oh, whoa, you're getting a little close to the keyboard. That's the keyboard. Yes. Fortunately, her foot landed on the other side of the keyboard, but she was straddling the keyboard. So I think it's time for you to get down. Yes. Time for you to get down. Yeah. There we go. That's an understatement, Jason. That's true, Kenny. She didn't have to get on camera at the impound lot, but they didn't feed her very well. So actually, nobody knew she was there. Actually, the guy that had the impound lot, he usually had a dog down there that he kept fed, but yeah, she I don't think she had much food down there because she was pretty skinny when we caught her and got her back, But there isn't anywhere for her to hide down there now, so. Okay, where are we at? The raffle. So anyway, we'll go back to kind of doing that. Nobody wants to quit the raffle, so we'll start with one prize. If we have good entries, we'll add to it from there on and just kind of work like we used to do it. So tonight, we're going to announce the new raffle, and we're going to do plates again. But like I said, I told you guys I had some stuff laying around. These plates, we've never done this set. We've never sold a set. We've never raffled a set. I've never had a full set at the same time to offer you guys. So these are pretty unique pieces. We've had bits and pieces of them. We've had this piece or that piece, but I've never had a full set of 3 at one time to offer you. I was trying to decide if we should auction them or raffle them, but I think they would make a good raffle piece because it's such a unique thing and something kind of different that you don't. Today, it's every day. It's just normal world today. But 75 years ago, this was kind of weird and kind of different. So let's grab these plates and talk about the new raffle. Now, today, when you go to renew your tag, you don't hardly ever get a new plate. Once every 10 years, it seems like. I know the plates that Kansas is just replacing. I know they've been around at least 10, if not 15 years. And every year, you get a new sticker. Put your sticker on, your little reflective sticker with your year, your current, you go on down the road. Well, that used to not ever happen. You got a new plate every year. Well, back in the early 50s, Kansas did try that. And I've never had a full set of these to offer you guys at the same time. The only other full set I've got is the one that's in my complete collection of Kansas plates. We need a Hudson badge. So, what Kansas did in the early 50s was the 1951 Kansas plate was very unique. It had a full cutout of the state of the corner of the plate to match the state. These were kind of a navy blue with white lettering. And were really a very attractive plate. Now, for 1952, Kansas did not issue a new plate. They issued a metal tag that you could screw over the 51 to update your tag to 52. And they did the same thing in 53. So we've had a few of these small tags here. We've had a few 51 plates over the years. I've never had a complete set to offer you guys 51, 52, 53. The 51, 52 are even the same number, 516. And these are metal tags. These are actual regular stamped steel, just like the plate. There goes the hearts. So I thought that would be something kind of different. You guys tell me, if nobody enters, then nobody liked it. But I thought it was kind of a unique deal. We've talked about these before. Some of you guys have asked about some of the little tabs before, but I've never had a full batch of 51, 52, and 53 to offer you guys. Yes, they do have the number on them, and these do not match these plates, but that is correct, Tractor Mike. If you look real close, it had a little stamped number in it. So if you got stopped, they could check and see if this number matched your plate. They did it because of the Korean War, because of the metal shortages as they had. So Kenny's liking it. So there again, I thought it would. If you're on here, Zach, there's no point even trying to make that resolution, because ain't none of us real bright when it comes to that. So anyway, something kind of different. Like I said, never had the opportunity to offer a full set to you guys with the little metal tabs. Thanks, Zach. JP digs them. Like I said, something kind of interesting and different that I thought would be worth checking out. And with that, I guess auctions. We want to have some auctions. I guess we can have some auctions. Who's ready for auctions? I got a yellow notepad here. I ain't got nothing on it, but I bet we can fill that up. But if we're going to get into the auctions, we probably better have an Auburn badge to get things rolling. Back that up with a Hudson badge. You guys take a drink. I'm going to gather up a pile of cool stuff to sell to you. Oh, let's see what we got tonight. We got any Skelly fans out there tonight? Anybody like Skelly? I hope not, because I'm trying to decide if I want to sell this can or not. All right. Yeah, we're good. Yep, you're in there, Briggs. Yep, see, Briggs, you're in there. You're ready to go. Well, they're laying against each other. We got you, though. No, I've not put anything in the new building, Brian, because I'm trying to rent it. I'm trying to get it rented before I fill it up, because it would be much smarter to rent it to somebody else than to fill it with my own stuff. So I haven't done anything with it. That's right, Big Job. Glad Big Job made it tonight. We are about ready to do some auctions. As always, we'll hold up a piece. We'll talk about that particular piece. We'll talk about a particular car. We'll point out any damage to the particular piece. We'll give you some dimensions on it so you have an idea of what size it is of what we're talking about. While we are doing the description, if it's a piece you're interested in, go ahead and throw a bid out there so I know we've got interest in the piece. After I get done with the description, we will put it on a timer. I will announce what the high bidder is at the time when we get done with the description based on what I see, and I will hit start on the timer on my phone. We are going 90 seconds now. We backed it up. We're making it more interesting. 90 seconds instead of 2 minutes. I will announce the 30-second point and the 1 minute point. At a minute 30, we're done. And there was about 4 or 5 times last week that there was 3, 4, 5 bids that came in right after that 90 seconds. So it's kind of different. It's kind of interesting. It's making it a little more fun and a little more interesting. But we're going 90 seconds. So right now I'd give you the 30-second mark as the timer is going. So at the end of 90 seconds, I will announce the winner based on what I see on my screens, whether it is YouTube or Facebook. And that will be the winning bidder. Payment, check, money order, Western Union, PayPal, friends and family, whatever works for you guys. Shipping is included. Yeah, this is all small stuff. Shipping will be included on tonight's stuff. In the 48 states, non-U.S. bidders, you are welcome to play. However, you will have to figure out how to get me paid in U.S. funds as well as be responsible for non-U.S. shipping. If you guys want to, go a week or two before you pay, that's fine. I just don't like dragging them out for, 3, 4, 5 weeks. So I think I agree with that, Pete. It's been a fun but challenging change. It has definitely mixed things up a little bit. Yep. But what was happening, Zach, because you haven't been here for a few weeks, is there was a 30 or 40-second lull in there. We got through the description. Everybody kind of got started, and then everybody kind of sat there on their fingers waiting for that minute 30 mark to go to 2 minutes. So 90 seconds now. Tariff is all yours, Brian. All right, we'll start off with something a little cheaper here and kind of work our way into some other stuff. Thanks, Mike. Hudson Badge. And let's start off with a few plates. Now, a few years ago, I bought a handful of brand new Nebraska plates that they're old. They've got some age to them, but they're brand new. I thought we had sold them all. I found another small handful, about half dozen more auctions, but what's left is all different weird stuff. So we're gonna do a couple of those right now. A pair of Nebraska dealer plates in the original envelope or wrapping. Actually, they're still sealed. $9.39 and $9.40. These are brand new. They were never used. This off-white with red lettering. I've seen some stuff back in the 70s of this color. I don't know if these are this early or if these are like 80s, but they've never been used. They're brand new. They're standard size plates, roughly 12 by 6, like we see on most of these. In fact, right at 12 by 6. So numerical order, DLR dealer plates, brand new, Nebraska. So there again, we will start off with these. I'll announce any bids we see on these as we go and add these to somebody else's collection. So let's go ahead and get rolling on the Nebraska dealer plates, $9.39 and $9.40 consecutive numbers. You're getting the pair for one price. If anybody wants them, no bids yet. Waycamp at 10, Zach at 10. 30 seconds gone. Whiskey 11. One minute gone, 30 seconds left to go. Waycamp 15, Kevin Brown 15. Had Waycamp first. Just under 30 seconds left to go. Zach 17. Matt 22. About ready to wrap it up. I got Matt at 22. Zach 30. Big Job at 30. I had Zach first. And that does it. Whiskey Business at 30. There's Leo. Let's see. How about some more pens and pencils? Some of this is equipment and one gas and oil. If Austin's on, Austin's been all over these things the last couple weeks. We'll see what happens on this batch. Big Job was right after Whiskey Business on my screen. I saw Whiskey Business, and about 2 seconds later, Big Job popped up. More pens and pencils. Where's Austin at? The first one, Jetmore Equipment. Jetmore, Kansas. Trego County Equipment, Waukene. Foley Caterpillar. Standard Oil in Ness City. And Snodgrass Implement, J.I. Case. So we got 6 in this batch. No, 5. We got 5 in this batch. So where's Austin at? Where are you going to start us off on this one, Austin? Tractor Mike at 5. Here we go. Austin at 10. Tractor Mike 11. "30 seconds down. Tractor Mike at 12. He knows Austin usually shoots at the end. 1 minute down, 30 seconds left to go. Nothing from Gibble Gas, nope. Just about ready to wrap this up. And that does it. Tractor Mike at 12. I was waiting for Austin. There it is. I knew Austin had one in there, but it was 4 seconds too late. Those dealer plates used from 51 to 84. So the newest they could be would be 40 years old. Tony made it. We'll add those to Tractor Mike's pile. That's true, Austin. You did get him. You did sneak in on the last ones because you got both of the last 2 bundles on that last second shot. So, what do we got next? How about some badges? How about we haven't done a badge bundle yet? This is kind of different. This is for our truck fans. So I hope you guys like them. International. Where's our international fans at? This is a Pop Metal badge. It does have some pitting in it. It was stud mount. It is flat. Off a bigger truck. We've got the other badge to go with it. Eight inches long on the International. Now, this came off of a Lodestar. Balun wire 25. Check out the big chrome Lodestar 1700. I think this was a 70s era International. This is a Pop Metal badge. This is all cast in here. It's got the star, at the top of the A. 1700 for the series. This is a Pop Metal stud mount flat badge as well. This one's fairly decent size. Balun wire pretty serious about this International deal. 11.5 inches on the Lodestar. You're going to get them both. Balun wire kicking us off at 25. Balun wire is definitely a truck guy. So right up his alley. Let's get this thing rolling and on the timer, and here we go. True. Yeah, too bad none say Sundance. It's whatever you guys want to do. Big job. Just let me know after the fact. 30 seconds gone. Just past the 30-second mark. Balun wire at 25. These are pretty cool pieces. If you're a truck guy, these are great pieces. They're flat. They're easy to mount. Stick them about anywhere. But Balin Wire may have just knocked everybody out starting at 25. 1 minute gone. 30 seconds left to go. Nut Farm at 30. Balin Wire, 40. Coming out of the end, about ready to wind it up. Here we go, getting close to the end. And that does it. Balin Wire at 40. And really, I mean, $20 a piece for these. These are cool pieces. No doubt about it. Balin Wire at 40. We'll add those to his stack. Sounds good, Zach. Let's see. What do we have? Oh, we haven't done a hubcap. Let's do a cap. Ooh, we got a hood ornament coming tonight too, guys. Everybody loves a hood ornament, right? Oh, it's a hubcap. I thought it was a bongo, but it's a hubcap. 4-hour Ford fans. We got any Ford fans on here? This is a late 40s era. Just a nice, good-looking cap. Dings, scuffs, scratches, but most of the original paint. Great wall hanger. 4-hour Ford fans. His hash marks and the letters are all stamped into it. It's a stainless steel cap with a steel ring on the back. That does appear to be the original paint in those letters. It's definitely scuffed and scratched, but it does appear to be the original paint. We can see on the back side where all this stuff is actually stamped into the cap. This is stainless. It's got a steel retaining ring to help hold it onto the wheel when these were being used. Stainless cap. You can see the dings and the scuffs and scratches in them, but a good looking piece. 9.5 inches in diameter on the Ford cap from the late 40s. So good for a clock. Yeah, I don't know if you got a center point where you could put it in the middle or not, but there we go. Late 40s era Ford hubcap. Let's get this thing on the timer, and away we go. Kevin L at 10. Zach at 11. $30 seconds gone. One minute gone, 30 seconds left to go. Zach at 11. Waycamp, 15. Kevin Brown, 22. Coming out of the wire, a few seconds left. Zach, 25. Pete, 23. Zach, 25. Jesse, at 12. But I had Zach at 25 at the end. Jesse tried to jump in over there on Facebook, but Zach at 25 is who I had at the 90-second mark. Kevin L had a 25, but it was a few seconds after the fact. So we're going to mark this one to Zach at 25. All right, hood ornament time. Haven't done a hood ornament in a while. This is a pretty decent looking one. I think they reproduce it, so I don't think it's extremely rare. I think it's a 53. Zach will be able to tell us for sure. I was going to look it up, and I ran out of time. But it's a cool piece, and I know you guys are going to dig it. Hood ornaments are great. Super cool pieces. I think this one's 53 Chevy. Zach will let us know for sure. But check this one out. The bird style, airplane style, wings, bullet on the front, pop metal. It's got a few pits and scuffs in it, but it does have nice bright chrome. Stud mounts on the bottom of it. This thing is, by the way, we got a great plate coming up too, guys. Really cool plate. 16 inches long with a 6.5 wingspan. So 16 inches long, 6.5 inch wingspan. So, Mary, 15. Where's our hood ornament fans at? These things are great. They're super cool pieces. A little bit of weight to it since it's pop metal. Yeah, that's right. That's right, Leo. You can slap this on about anything. It's pretty unique. It does have kind of a little collared area here where the wingspan picks up. Nut Farm at 20. And let's get this thing rolling on a timer. Balin Wire 45. It's not 53 or 54 car. Maybe it's 52 car. I don't know. Let's roll with it. Balin Wire 45. I knew it looked familiar, but I didn't stop and take time to look it up. What did you do, cat? Chunky butt. 49 to 52. Yeah, it's somewhere in that era. Cat. 30 seconds gone. 60 seconds left to go. I was knocking off the counter over there. Balin Wire 45. Good looking ornament. Coming up on that 1 minute mark. No, that was Chunky Butt, actually. 1 minute gone, 30 seconds left to go. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Chevy. Just about ready to wind it up. Balin Wire at 45. Kevin 50, Pete 51. Big job 50. That'll do it. Pete at 51. Balin Wire came back at 54, just a few seconds too late. Pete at 51. All right, I told you guys we had a cool plate coming up. Let's get to it. I don't think we've ever even sold one of these. If we have, it's been a long time. This is not a very common plate. You don't hardly ever see them. This is a very low number, and it's a pretty cool piece. Kansas 1945. This is a smaller plate due to the metal shortages, and it is also a reverse stamped edge like we saw on the 1946 plate we talked about a while back. And it's a 2-digit number. Number 42. The 85 was the county. This was Kiowa County. Number 42, 2-digit plate. Now, we can see this is actually indented here. We look on the back, and we can see where it is actually pushed out the back. Back of this plate looks pretty good. Some paint loss on the front, but 45, 46 plates typically did not have very good paint retention. This was an off-white with black numbers and letters on it. 2-digit 1945 plate. Now, diameter or size. This is smaller than a standard size plate due to metal shortages. 10 7/8 by 4 7/8. Tractor might get 10. So compared to the Nebraska dealer plates we just sold, which are standard 12 by 6 like we're used to, if we lay this against the back of it, Kenny, 15. 51 Chevy car. I knew it was something like that era. I just didn't have time to look it up today. I ran out of time. So if we hold this against the back of a standard 12 by 6 plate of these Nebraskas, Gives you an idea on the size of this kind of funky little 1945 Kansas plate. So not one you see very often. You know, some of these we're doing, especially right now, like this one, if I didn't have a complete set of Bartons intact, same thing with these, I wouldn't be selling any of these. Mary at 50 on the 1945 plate. So there again, the backside's kind of pushed out. This was Kiowa County, 85, actually the same as these. They came out of the same collection. So let's get this thing rolling. Super cool little plate, not one you see very often. Odd year, odd size, 2-digit. Mary at 50. Yeah, that's right. She did pull out the elephant gun. Took Kenny's 15 and kind of torpedoed it. No, the accessory in 51 actually had like an Impala on it, Mike. 30 seconds gone. I don't know if that matters after Mary's bazooka shot. I think poor Kenny's still reeling from that one. Mary at 50. Coming up on the 1 minute mark. One minute gone. Yeah, no kidding, Kenny. You kind of got torpedoed on that deal. It really makes you think. 1 minute gone, just under 30 seconds left to go. A few more seconds to think about it. But it's not one you see very often, that's for sure. Few seconds left. Is anybody going to try to tangle with Mary, or is this one all hers? And that'll do it. Let's mark that one to Mary. Talk about getting the job done. Let's have a Hudson badge for that one. Mary getting the job done. Anybody want to do a can tonight? I got a great can here. I'm just trying to decide if I want to sell it. Man, it's pretty. Anybody want to do a can, or we want to skip it? Oh, yeah, everybody's in can. I like this can. It cleaned up nice. It polished up nice. We'll see what you guys think of it. I ask you, anybody like Skelly? We got any Skelly fans out there tonight? How about an Auburn badge while we're thinking about it? This one, I grabbed it like, oh, I'll throw it in there and sell it. Then I polished it up, and I was kind of like, maybe I don't have to sell it, but I don't know. I'll show it to you. We'll see what you think. If you guys like Skelly. Oh, the 50 was for the hood ornament. So it was hung up that long. So we got to redo the plate. Okay, we'll redo the plate here in a minute because that was an old bid. So you don't want the plate then, Mary, is that correct? Let me know and we'll just redo that since that hung up. After we do this can, because this is a great can. $1 gallon Skelly Solve. Extremely flammable, danger, explosive if vaporized, Skelly Solve. So what do you guys think of this? This is a 1 gallon can. It doesn't say the same thing on both sides. This side is a little more faded. This one must have been towards the window. It's got a dent on this side over here. Kevin, 15. Zach, 25. Kevin, 25. Product of Skelly Oil Company, Kansas City, Missouri. Kevin at 30. cap is still there, a little bit of service rust on the top. It is empty, been empty for years. 1 U.S. gallon, extremely flammable Skelly Solve. So, I guess let's go ahead and get this thing on the timer. You guys like it as much as I do. Let's roll. Let's see what happens. Mary, let me know what to do on the plate. And let's get this on the timer. And away we go with the Skelly Solve 1 gallon can. Kevin L. at 30. "30 seconds gone." Couldn't read that, Mary, when it popped up. I'm trying to watch the timer, so there goes the hearts. I think it was some sort of a degreaser or cleaner. Balin wire at 40. 1 minute gone. Could be a sniper item. I know we're going to find it in a few seconds. Zach, 42. At least it is good and empty, so it shouldn't be flammable anymore. Balin wire, 45. Zach, 50. And that does it. Zach at 50. And it's a very pretty can, so it's... You guys want another can? I've got another little can here. Oh, shoot. I've got another little can, and then we'll do the plate again. Anybody want another can, or we want to do something different? Let's see. Okay, we'll redo the plate here in a minute. I'm not sure, Balin wire, actually. I'm sure they got bought up by somebody. I don't know what configuration that company is in right now. Honestly, I hadn't even thought about that, Balin wire. Good question, though. So, all right, let's redo the plate because the plate got messed up because that was a bid on the hood ornament. So the 1945 plate, back to this because that was an old bid on Mary, and then everything kind of got wonkied up. So we'll go back to this. I think Kenny was in at 15. If that's correct, Kenny, just let me know, and we'll get started again. So we don't need to talk about it again. We'll just go ahead and get rolling. Big job at 5. And we'll just start it on the 5 then. If Kenny was still in at 15, he can go ahead and slide that in, and we'll be ready to go. And here we go. We'll just start it at 5 with Big Job. Great plate, one you don't ever see. Tractor Mike at 10. Nut Farm at 20. Briggs, 23. I figured there were some plate guys out there that still dug this thing. Yeah, because it's a cool piece. 30 seconds gone. Briggs at 23. 1 minute gone. 30 seconds left to go. Briggs at 23. Kenny, 24. Coming up on that 90 seconds. Briggs, 25. Few seconds left. Anybody else going to take another shot? Briggs at 25. And that does. Tony had something in there, but I can't tell what it was because he fat fingered something and it came in right at the last second. Briggs at 25. I don't think that's supposed to be 256. So Briggs at 25. Let's change that to that. Tony, it was a 26. I was wondering if that's what happened. So that's where the 90 seconds is getting things a little tricky. You got to be a little closer, a little quicker. All right. Everybody like the can. We'll do one more little can. I hate selling these. I've got it. I've got an extra. This is an extra, but I hate selling these. Yep, rushed it. Yep, that happens. Let's have a Hudson badge for that. These things are cute as the dickens. We've sold a couple of them. I don't even want to sell this one, but I know I've got a couple of them. So I'm going to go ahead and sell it, even though I hate doing them. I just don't need a bunch. I mean, I'll just keep buying them, and then I'll have 20 of them. This is one of the little can banks. I love these things. These are cute as the dickens. Trop Arctic, Phillips 66, the all-weather motor oil. Trop Arctic metal can bank. Yes, this is a bank. Trop Arctic. So it's got the tropics over here. It's got the Arctic over here. This is a metal can slotted at the top. The bottom does pop off so you can get your money back out of it. It does actually have a seam over here. Leo's got it. Yeah, they're great pieces. A little bit of info on the back. Nut Farm at 10. Nice paint, nice condition on this thing. Looks great. It is 2 3/4 by 2. Balin wire 35. 2 3/4 by 2. And let's go ahead and get this thing rolling. These things are I just love these things. So this has been laying in the box for months. I just couldn't bring myself to sell it. And it's like, some of the stuff I just got, if I don't, I mean, that's the problem. I've got too many boxes of stuff in here because I get stuff like this in here that I say, should I sell that? Should I not sell it? And then it lays here, and then I end up with more and more boxes of stuff in the office, which has to get cleaned out. So I'm selling some of this stuff. Balin wire at 35. That may have taken care of everybody on this piece. I don't know. Just past the 30-second mark. Heading to that 1 minute mark. That's cool, Balin wire. That explains why you're after it, because this is a cool piece. I love it. I've got a lot of these little can banks. 1 minute gone, just under 30 seconds left, and I love all of them. That's why I said this. I don't know how many months this has been laying in the box with me trying to decide what I was going to do with it. Balin wire at 35. Ticking away, coming down to the end. Just about ready to hit that 90-second mark. Balin wire at 35. And that got it done. Actually pretty excited for you, Balin wire. I bet there are some other guys thinking about it, but that's a great piece, and I'm glad you got it. I'm glad you got a reason that you want it, too. That's cool. Add that one to Balin wire's pile. All right, let's do another hubcap. 4 Hour Chevrolet fans. This is one of those caps. They reproduce them. You can buy them brand new, but it still ain't as cool as one of these. Not one that tells a story and has some battle scars, but still looks presentable and will look amazing hanging in your man cave. This is a late 40s, early 50s era Chevrolet half-ton pickup hubcap. Check out the sunglasses. We give you a Hudson badge while you get your sunglasses on. This thing is bright. Kevin's ready. I'll give you a glimpse. Look at that. There's a glimpse. Chrome cap for the late 40s, early 50s Chevrolet pickup. Now, obviously, this has some dings, some dents, some scratches. It's 75 years old. The lettering is still have red paint, which appears to be original paint. It is getting thin, but it does appear to be original. Chrome still has an amazing shine, obviously. This is a steel base with a chrome cap on the front of it. I believe it is half-ton based on the diameter. Not that that matters. It's going on the wall. 10 inches in diameter on this Chevrolet cap. Now, they do reproduce these. They have for years. You can buy them all over the place. But this one, the dings, the dents, the character, it's got the story, it's got the look, it's got the originality. Bred at 25. And it can also double as a hat, I guess. I don't know. Good-looking cap, though. Let's go ahead and get this thing rolling on the timer. Definitely going to be a great addition to somebody's Chevrolet-themed man cave. Try to keep the glare down a little bit here. I don't know if it's the best place, where the best place to put it is, so you guys can still see it and not be blinded. Back here like this, is that better? Got a screw, we can hang it up here. Oh yeah, look at that. Look how good that's going to look hanging in your man cave. Zach 26, baling wire 30 as we go past the 30-second mark. I guess you can still see it, but maybe it doesn't blind you right there. It is great Art Deco lettering. That's a great point, Kenny. Chevy UFO. Well, yeah, could kind of go for that too. One minute gone. 30 seconds left to go. Baling wire at 30. On this super shiny Chevy. Baling wire at 30. Zach, 33. Few seconds left. What's going to happen? And that does it. Zach at 33. Baling wire had a 35 and they're just a hair too late. Let's see. What do we want to do next? Let's do something. I don't even know what the heck this is. I've not been able to identify this, but it is something cool for a horn button fans. I think I know what it is. I think it's Imperial, but I'm not sure. I have not been able to find it, so I don't know for sure what it is. I think it's a Chrysler, but I don't know. So we're going to sell it because I can't figure it out. Check out this symbol in this horn button. This is a plastic center. It has this gold medallion in there. I think it's like New Yorker or Imperial or something like that, but I could not identify it. It is a pot metal chrome ring, which looks great, by the way. The chrome is amazing on it. It's basically flat on the back. It's just got a couple little clips that twist in. Nut Farm at 20. The gold looks really cool in this thing. Diameter-wise, we are at about 3 1/4. About 3 1/4 diameter-wise on this New Yorker Imperial. I think it's Chrysler, but that is a guess on this particular horn button. And let's get this on the timer, and away we go. But Nut Farm at 20. Close up. $30 seconds left. 30 seconds gone. 60 seconds left to go. Lincoln. Mark says Lincoln. Could be. David saying 51 Lincoln. That could be. Could be a Lincoln. I don't know. But I know it's going to be headed to somebody else's collection here shortly. Okay, 25 with Mary. She restarted. 1 minute gone, 30 seconds left to go. 25 with Mary. There goes the hearts. Nut Farm at 30. Mark 28. I've got Nut Farm at 30. Few seconds left. We're coming down to the end. Nut Farm at 30. And that does it. Nut Farm at 30. Kevin L. had a 31. Mark had a 32. They were all shooting. They just didn't get here. Nut Farm at 30. All right, what do we think? You want to do one or two more, guys? Or I guess we really don't even have time to get in the magazine. I guess we should do a couple more auction things, and we need to talk about the Nobody's page. And so let's do a couple more things. What do we want to do? How about a badge bundle? Maybe do a badge bundle and a plate, and then we'll see where we're at. I know Mark's up for a badge bundle. This one is going to be a Buick Olds Cadillac badge bundle, starting off with a Skylark from the early 70s. This is a Pop Metal chrome-plated Skylark emblem. Stud mount. Chrome still looks good on it. It's not broken or chipped. And it is about 7 3/8 long. Good idea, Kenny. Going with the Skylark, an Oldsmobile Rocket from a 1965 Cutlass. This goes on the hood. We see the Rocket as its projectile launching. It did have a piece down here at the bottom that is chipped off, but we do still have the Rocket on it. What is here is about 4.5 inches in length on the Oldsmobile Rocket. This is Pop Metal, chrome-plated stud mount off of a 65 Cutlass. Now, the killer badge that I love, that I really had to wrestle with. This thing is so awesome, but I've got some other badges similar to it. This is early 60s Cadillac. This is actually, believe it or not, off of a wheel cover. Check this baby out. I love this thing. It's a smaller badge. This is probably 61, 62 era. It is Pop Metal. This actually screwed in. It had little bosses here for the bolts, but this boss is here. This boss is broken. But this thing looks cool. See, you got the little ducks in it. This is a smaller emblem. It is just over 4 inches long. Tony at 10, just over 4 inches long on the little Cadillac. So we've got 3 badges in this group, the 65 Cutlass, the Skylark, and the Cadillac. David W. at 15, Tony at 10, So our high bidder is David W. at 15, and we're going to get this on the timer and go. Nope, no jet fires. $30 seconds gone. 60 seconds left to go. $60 seconds gone. 30 seconds left. David W. at 15 on all three of them. Just about ready to wrap it up. And that'll do it. David W. at 15. Tony at a 16, just a hair too late. All right, let's catch one more plate, and then we'll probably go ahead and move on from the auctions. Catch a couple more things before we wrap up tonight. No, Tony, don't have any Pontiac stuff tonight, I don't think. No. Let's catch one more plate, and then we'll catch a few more things before we wrap up tonight. I'm not so sure that this isn't new because it looks really, really nice. But it's fairly old, but I don't see any screw holes in it. I didn't even polish this. If I had polished this, it would look even better, actually. I just ran out of time today. Great colors. Another one from our Kiowa County collection. This time going back to 1959. 59 was a very unique, kind of a yellow with a little bit of an orange tint with blue letters. And this thing is a knockout plate. Look at this thing. I don't see any screw scratches around the top or bottom holes on this plate. And remember, I did not polish this plate. I rinsed the dust off of it. No rubbing compound, no wax. Look at the finish on this plate without even polishing it. With a little bit of compound, this thing would really pop. Look at the back of this thing. This thing is 66 years old. So I think it might be new. And the colors on these things are great. This 59, it really popped. Tony, 25. Waycamp, 20. Now this one, this is actually stamped. This is not cut out like it is on these 51s. We can see where the corner of the state is stamped in it. But just amazing condition. Great colors. This is a roughly 12 by 6 plate again. You can even see the... Where are we at here? The stamping. You guys see that in the glare where the stamping is and the paint? It's like I said, it's for a 66-year-old license plate, it looks pretty darn good. Last piece for tonight. Let's go ahead and wrap it up. And we got her on the timer. We've got Tony at 25. Waycamp, 30. See you later, Brett. Glad you were on tonight. That was Matt's second auction win, was a 59. 1 minute gone. 30 seconds left to go. Weigh camp at 30. Coming out of the end. That's right. It is Cricket's big job. I was just thinking the same thing. Weigh camp at 30. We got a few seconds left. Tony, 33. And that got it done. Tony at 33. Zach at 35, but it was too late. Tony at 33. Good looking piece. All right, guys, we'll probably go ahead and wrap the auction up there. Couple more things I want to catch yet tonight. We're coming up on 2.5 hours. I know we've all got to get some sleep. I probably won't get some sleep for a while. I'm pretty wired up, but that happens. But great fun tonight. Had a blast with you guys on the auctions once again, as always. Ton of fun. And that's right. Congrats to all the winners. Great time. And there again, it's just fun coming up with this cool stuff and being able to let you guys add some of it to your collections, and we have a lot of fun with it. Awesome, Randall. Appreciate that. Okay, so Big Job and Zach are going to split those D tags. Is that correct, guys? Is that what you're telling me? One more thing I want to catch tonight. Obviously, we don't have time to get into the magazine, but hey, that's fine. We can always do that later. One thing we haven't looked at yet that I forgot earlier, the Nobody's page. We need to check out the Nobody's page to see what's going on there. Forgot to do this earlier. Okay, sounds good, Big Job. Whichever one Zach wants, I'll send you the other. Radiator caps. Are we talking like the old modem eaters? Is that what we're talking about, Nut Farm? All right, the Nobody's page. 88 members. We're pushing 100, guys. If you're not on the Nobody's page, please be sure to check it out on Facebook and get in the group. 88 members in there. Let's get that to 100. Weston found a pretty slick old GMC. Build this, score some nice transporters. Those are cool pieces. If you guys haven't checked this stuff out, be sure to get on there. I haven't been on it much at all this week, especially the last half of the week. So that's why I like recapping with you guys. Andy was out dragging some stuff in, recovered 9 vehicles. Holy cow. The Rusty Okie has been very busy. Austin posted Johnny Carson's birthplace. I hadn't seen that. The birthplace of comedy legend Johnny Carson. That's pretty cool. I still can't believe you guys even associate what we do here with what he did. But I do appreciate it. I mean, the fact that you guys think that what we're doing here is a decent enough quality, that's pretty awesome. I really appreciate that you guys even use that comment. So look at the comments by Pete, okay? I was born and raised in Kansas. That's true. Like I said, I haven't seen this stuff, guys. My this end of this week got so crazy. I haven't looked at this stuff. That's why I love going through it with you guys, though. Briggs put up a sweet air hanger. That's pretty cool. It's a nice wire wheel air hose hanger. Let's see. Austin's goodie box. Oh, I did catch this. Kevin L. If you guys missed this, you've got to check this one out. Kevin L. actually passed his pickup on down to his grandson, and it was Kevin L's dad's pickup. Then it was his, and now he's passed it on to his grandson. So that's pretty cool. That's always good. That's why we do this. So that was a great story by Kevin L. If you guys missed it, you need to check that out. So yeah, I've still got that poster of Johnny. I don't know where to put it though. That's the problem. We're running out of space. So, oh, these promos that Matt posted, that 54 Pontiac, that is sweet. I don't know that I've seen that one. 50, I think it's a 54. Is that a 53? That's a 53. 53 Pontiac two-door hardtop. That's a good-looking promo. And the little Rambler's cool, too. Sounds good, Briggs. A lot of the stuff I haven't seen yet. Pete did put up the post about being at about half capacity on the gathering, so please remember to get into that. Pete, that's a pretty sweet wall hanger that Pete posted, that Nash cut-off nose. So anyway, sounds great. Appreciate it, Randall. So anyway, a lot of great posts on this week. A lot of that stuff I hadn't seen. So once again, I appreciate your guys' involvement with that. That's true. I am a star. I tell her that all the time. That's awesome, Kevin. That is super cool. I told her, while we were eating our Flatlanders last night, while I was enjoying my Wilbur, I was clearly explaining to her how awesome Chad is and how lucky she is to be hanging out with Chad. Her eyes about fell out of her head from rolling, but I actually think she rolled her eyes enough they were like unscrewing. But like I told her, it ain't no picnic being Chad. So that's good, JC. I'm glad that gives you back some good memories. Glad you're here with us, actually, Jason or JC. I didn't realize you guys have been hanging out with us. I'm glad that you guys are still here. It means a lot that the Withrows are still hanging out with us on here. That's awesome. So appreciate that, JC. And that's awesome that you guys are still here with us. So anyway, a lot of great stuff on there. If you were not there, check it out. This is how it's spelled. Answer the questions. Zach and Andy are the admins on that page. I don't have anything to do with it. They take care of that for all of us. So super appreciate Zach and Andy's help and involvement with managing that page and keeping track of it, getting the posts on there. So if you're not on it, get on it. Get your friends on there. And let's see if we can get that page up over 100 members. A lot of great activity on there this week, and that was awesome. So anyway, with that, throat's getting dry. That's right, JC. Definitely tell your mom hi from all of us. Super excited you guys are still here with us when you can. I guess that'll pretty much kind of start to wrap things up for tonight. Where'd my sheet go? Here we go. We'll save the magazine notes for next week. That's okay. Sometimes that happens. If we get busy talking about other stuff, we can always push that off. But glad you guys were here with us. Hope you guys like the new badge edition for Super Chats. Everybody seemed pretty excited about it. I thought it was a fun way to do something with Super Chats. So based on the feedback we got, you guys all seem to be pretty excited. So the new Super Chat badge is going to be super fun, I think. We'll see how often we can get that out. But in the meantime, we're going to give you a Hudson badge anyway to wind things down tonight. And get ready for next week. What's coming up next week? Brian's definitely liking the new badge, the new Super Chat badge. I thought it was a great idea. I thought you had to have something cool to go for the Super Chat, so I thought a Supercharger was a way to go. So that was my mindset, which for whatever that's worth. What's coming up this week? There will be public videos coming up. There will be a video from my buddy's yard, walking around there, as well as the cord that can be yours. Yes, Doug actually has a customer car in the shop that the customer has asked them to help him sell. That video will be coming up for the public on Friday. Members have already been checking that out. Unless Pete goes and buys it, I don't know. It's a pretty cool car. So those videos will be coming out. We'll have some new stuff up for the members as well. We've got a lot of cool stuff in there. We've definitely got some more ACD stuff coming up. A lot of stuff from the yard that we need to get posted. So we'll definitely have some more new members videos popping this week as well. Tuesday night. We will be on Tuesday night. I'll see. We've still got stuff from Balin Wire. I don't know if we'll wrap that up or maybe I'll grab some other stuff and we'll finish up Balin Wire week after that. But we do still have cool stuff in the Balin Wire bags to go through. But we may take a break from that, slide some other stuff in, and finish it up the following week. So we will be on Tuesday night as well. You know, a few shorts we'll get up this week. And, of course, as always, we sure hope to see you right back here next week for some more Sunday Night Live Chat. Really appreciate you guys spending basically your entire Sunday evening with us. The No Buddies page put together by Zach and Andy. It's awesome that this community continues to grow and build like this. And, tell your friends about us. Come over, join us, hang out, invite them to the show, or invite them to come out to the gathering in April. Jeff, an idea for the show, quizzes. If you were to cover the logo on a part, see who can identify the vehicle. Well, that's actually a pretty good idea, Jeff. That's something that we haven't done. We could do that on a timer, and maybe I got an idea for that, Jeff. I like that idea. Yeah, I like that idea. Well, I'm going to think about that, Jeff, and see what we can do on parts quizzes. You got me thinking, Jeff, if you couldn't tell. So we'll see. We'll see what we can do with that. You guys let me know what you think. If we bring a part in here and you guys have to identify it. And I don't know if you guys can you'll take a screenshot and Google Lens. It's probably what you'll do, but that's the only thing I'm not sure about. Brian Dispatch jumping off. I don't know. We'll play around with that, Jeff. You guys let me know what you think. We will probably discuss that a little bit more. I just don't want everybody Google Lensing it, screenshotting it, Google Lensing it type thing. I mean, it needs to be something that, whoever's quickest, or we'll put it on a timer if you can get it in 20 seconds or something. So, something to kind of take Google Lens out of it. But not a bad idea at all, Jeff. It really isn't. So we'll kick that around a little bit. I'd love to get some feedback from some of you guys on that idea. But that could be a good segment that we might work in. So thanks for that idea, Jeff. We'll kick that around a bit too. So as always, this show's about you guys as much as even more so than me. So always interested in what you guys are thinking. I'm actually thinking about stuff I could do that with right now, by the way. Nut game with a hubcap. Yeah, we could do that too. I don't know. I'd have to get a table up here at this height. So keep part of it covered at all times and Google shouldn't work. Perfect. So if I have my hand over this side or that side, then we could do it. Identify taillights. Yeah, I mean, it could be anything, Balin Wire. Taillights are a great idea, though. I don't know. There again, that's what's fun about this. This show constantly evolves. Just like when we're talking about 250, this show has evolved throughout the last 5 years, and it has evolved because of you guys and your participation. We started with some notes on basically some chicken scratches on a yellow piece of paper. After the first year of things going and different ideas, and we'll talk about some of those ideas as they came about here in 2 weeks when we get into the 250th anniversary show, to where I started building these sheets January 2nd of 21. And this sheet, I'd have to look in my documents file. This sheet's probably been revised 15 or 20 times over the past 4 years. So, and that's, a lot of that comes from your guys' ideas and thoughts. So awesome. I love that idea. I love those ideas. So we'll see what happens next. Is the big game next weekend, guys? If we may try to wrap up a little bit early if anybody wants to catch the end of the big game. I think that's next week. I'm not sure, but I think that's coming up next week. So we may cut a little bit short next week. We'll just see how things go. But for the most part, we will have a regular episode next week. And then 2 weeks from tonight, actually on Dad's birthday, will be episode number 250. Yes, February. Okay, so the game is next week. So we may, we'll kind of see how things go. We might try to shorten up a little bit so everybody can at least catch the end of the game. If you're, if you want to at least catch part of it, or if you don't want to be here and want to watch that, I fully understand. Trust me. So we'll see how things go, but we will be back here for a while for sure next week. Good idea, David. Might get you an answer. Some other people have done that. So anyway, with that, we're going to go ahead and put a stamp on episode number 248 and get ready to wrap this thing up. We're going to give you a Hudson badge and an Auburn badge as we end the evening. We'll see some of you Tuesday night on Toy Tuesday, and we definitely hope to see you all right back here next Sunday night, 7:30, for some more Sunday night live chat. If you're interested in the gathering, get an email to Pete. Let's get you on the list. It's going to be a lot of fun. See if Dad would come on or not. I don't know for 250, but we can ask him. So anyway, thanks for being here tonight. Hope everybody has a great week. We'll catch some of you Tuesday, and we sure hope to see all of you right back here next Sunday evening for some more Sunday night live chat. Thanks for watching, everybody.